Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about doing some really textured Coreless core spinning today, and I have some Romney fiber here. It is very lightly washed, so as you can see, it retains all of its characteristics here. It hasn't been combed, it hasn't been carded, so I want to do a really textured Coreless core spin. And you know, all Coreless core spin is of course there is a core. It's not coreless. You really can't core spin with no core. But what you do is you take an amount of fiber like this, and then you separate it. So I'm using the same core and the same core spinning material. So the core is here in my left side. That's going to twist and become the core. And this material, the fiber in my right hand, is going to actually wrap around it. And you'll get just as much texture from a Coreless core spin as you would get from a lock spun. It's all in the way that you do it. You just separate the fiber, hold some of it in your left hand, and then let your right hand fiber wrap around it. So here it's as though I'm carrying two separate pieces of fiber, but I'm letting the right hand wrap around the left. What you're using for your core is not a pre-spun yarn. It's not a roving. It's part and parcel of the same fiber that you're working with. I have two different fibers here. They're both Romney, but one is a very long stapled white, and the other is a shorter, very curly gray. So really, the advantage, I guess, to the Coreless core is that as you're spinning along, you can change it over. You can core spin a little with this, change it over, core spin a little with this, separate that out, and let this start wrapping around, very textured and bulky. Add a lot of texture to the side. So it's really, while you're lock spinning, if you decide you want to change it over a little bit, go for a little bit different look, you will notice that, obviously the core spinning wraps. So the look is slightly different, but you can, really put lots of texture, lots of, let's see if we can get some really nice, bumpy, interesting locks to hang out there, like that. There you go. You're using a really textured fiber. This happens to be Romney that I'm using. It's a really nicely textured Romney fleece. You can let some of those little curly bits hang right out of your spinning. If you're using this white, it is not nearly as textured, and if I wrap the white around the textured, you get again a different look. You can almost see that webbing going around it from the white. So if you want to add a lot of texture to your Coreless, make sure that you have a lot of texture in what you're wrapping. You could also do this if you're left-handed or you like to handle your yarn from the other side. You can hold your core here and let it wrap. I'm not good at that because I'm right-handed. But you could split this and let it wrap on the right. Oops. And just watch kind of what you're playing with. And let as much or as little texture spin in as you want to. And then here in the middle, you get that wrap, which is a little bit different, a different look than you get with a true lock spun. Let it all twist on like this. And then sometimes you can just split it and let something wrap around this way. And then put it back together. That's a lock spun, split it. This is now a core spun, only because it's a Coreless core spun, because I'm using the same fibers, sometimes to wrap around and sometimes to go in. So there you go. Play around. It's a lot of fun.